Obviously, I'm not in my plant room and I'm not where I usually film, and that's because there's too much going on over there right now. The sun is directly in my face, but I think in the next few minutes it should move. Hopefully, I think it's gonna move higher, not lower. What else? I am in Archie territory. He's currently about 5 feet away from me, and that's because he's gonna scream if he can't see me. He is in his mom era right now, and if I'm out of view, it's like, imagine a pterodactyl stubbing its toe. That's what it sounds like. Okay, anyway guys, hey, and welcome back to another video. I think you're, ooh, I have pockets. Okay, so it's very early in the morning. It is now 7:40, and I'm gonna try and get the Wednesday repot out of the way early because I have 2 other videos to film today and not enough time in the day. Why do I still feel like you're crooked? It's fine, whatever. So today I'm gonna be repotting my seedlings, and I wanted to repot this before I left for California. I leave in about 2 weeks. I'm not worried about the transition because it's still going into pond. It's just going into a bigger vessel. And I'm gonna show you the setup that I have it in now. If I'm remembering correctly, I did this on camera, this little setup. I, in theory, like it. Not in theory, that's not the right word. I do like it. I just think that it would work in a higher humidity environment / in pots that are bigger than this, because the water evaporates so fast and it's being used so fast. I can't keep up with it. I have to refill this thing like minimum of twice a week. Alice is not going to be coming here twice a week while I'm away, so I wanted to get them repotted before I left. By the way, these are my Brielle Dock Block Brielle Dark Forgetti seedlings, and these were my holdbacks from my batch. I think that I kept a good assortment of them. Some are not doing very well. I think this one is just about dead, but I should have about 12 in here that are good still. So it's kind of hard to show you as they are without spilling and whatever. So I'm actually going to get everything out of here, and then once they're bare root, I will show you what they look like. I'm going to go feed my ping. Breakfast is ready, sweetheart. I'm literally just going to pluck them all out and get them all bare root, and then I'm going to soak them. I'm going to do a soak of probably I always say Dr. Brown's. Dr. Brown's is a bottle brand. Dr. Wood's castile soap, tea tree castile soap, and then water, just to like clean it up a little bit. I might add like the tiniest bit of alcohol just in case there's like any pests or anything, although they look pretty good. Like, I don't see any damage on the leaves. I don't see any visible pests, but I feel like flat mites are always around, so I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna move this. And while we're doing this, I'm actually gonna be answering some plant questions that I got. I don't have a lot of them because I kind of just put the question box out and it hasn't even been up for a full 24 hours. So I'm just gonna answer the ones that came in. So the first one is, what do you enjoy most from being a plant parent? What brings spark out for you? Or what brings the spark out for you? I really like this question because I've had a few of these moments recently that I just like. So my nose is still running. I don't know why. I have long COVID. It's awesome. Archie is waving his bottle over his head upside down and letting the drips of milk go on his face. It's fine. Formula is not just incredibly expensive. It's okay. Guys, being a working stay-at-home mom, not for the weak. I'm glad I don't have a job where I need to like talk to people and like take calls, take meetings all the time, because oh my gosh, that would be impossible. But did you hear that sound he made when I left the room? Yeah, that's what we're dealing with lately. Okay, so yeah, I bought a Dioscorea relax. I bought a Dioscorea elephantites from Crystal Star Nursery, I think a year or a year and a half ago. Love that plant. I was searching everywhere for it. Finally found the form that I wanted from them. which is like the long, narrow, skinny form, not like the wide heart-shaped leaf. Yeah, it was growing really, really well. Literally was almost to my ceiling from like my windowsill. And I did it in a video with Alice, but we were trying to, there was one stem that looked like it had started to die. And so we were trying to separate it out. We kind of re-trellised it, like we did a whole thing, and then it died, like literally just died back to a bulb. And I didn't want to throw away the bulb because I wasn't sure if it was bad. The roots were still really healthy. And I literally just had it in my plant room on my shelf since then. And it's just been a little potato. Now, over the last few months, it kind of looked like the potato had gotten smaller, like it was kind of rotting or becoming hollow. But I was like, oh, I still don't want to throw it away because it's not like gone mushy, it's not changed color, it's just looked like it got smaller. And the other day when I was filming, I was showing it on camera and saw that it had pushed out 2 new growth points. So I'm glad that like over the winter and whatever, I had kept watering it. I don't know, is the Dioscorea, like, is that one that is kind of like an annual where it like dies back in the winter? Or does it always have foliage on it if it's happy? I actually don't really know. But either way, that was one of those moments that just so excited, so happy, and just like so fascinated by this hobby. And just I love having moments like that where it's like feeling of relief and excitement and triumph. And I don't get those moments very often nowadays, but when I do, it's just like, oh, I savor it. And then perfect, wearing cream pants, just got dirty pond water on me. It's fine. Another thing that keeps the spark alive is honestly doing things not for social media. Sounds kind of weird given that it's my job, but it's the one way that I sort of create a boundary in the hobby for like where it's work and where it's for like personal reasons or personal happiness, personal whatever. And doing things off social media where like I'll repot something off social media, or like a new leaf will come out and I don't feel the need to post it on Instagram or here, or I'm not filming and it's literally just for me and I'm just sitting in my plant room and it's quiet and it's just me and the plant. Like even those little moments kind of keep that spark alive for me. And the way that I've kind of started to view the plant hobby is kind of the way that I view my relationship with my husband. I know that sounds kind of strange, but in the beginning of my relationship with Vince, we were doing long distance. We didn't get to see each other very often. And so when we did, especially like the lead up to it, which was very, very exciting. And like, obviously everyone in a relationship is in the honeymoon phase. You like can't get enough of each other. And slowly over time, it changes. And it's not because you don't love each other anymore. And it's not because you're not as obsessed with each other as you were before. Because I certainly still feel that way about Vince, especially now, him being like the father of my child. I just like adore him in a different way. But we don't have those really exciting phone conversations anymore. I don't get butterflies when he sends me a text. Like that initial excitement between us, I don't feel those things anymore. But instead, I feel sort of this comfortable love, and Archie's just staring at me, comfortable peace with him that feels really good. And that's kind of how I feel with my plants. Like, no, on a day-to-day basis, it's not exciting. I don't get a rush, but there's this kind of baseline comfort and baseline happiness that I have just knowing that they're there, knowing that I have them whenever I need it. And that's like, I guess, the best analogy that I can give it. And I don't I really don't think my husband's gonna be like offended if he hears like that oh my God, I don't get crazy butterflies when he texts me what I want from McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like we talk about our relationship all the time. We talk about like the evolution of our relationship all the time. We reminisce about like the early days, but like we also are very vocal and honest about the fact that things have gotten very comfortable, and we love where we're at right now. You know, like it would be nice to maybe go back for a day and just, I don't know, experience it again, but I'm good where we're at. You know what I mean? Like I don't really want to be back in the early days because I like this feeling of comfort and I don't know, like I can literally just be myself. I don't have to be shy around him. I don't have to feel like I need to impress him or whatever. It's just this comfort that is kind of hard to explain. If you know, you know. And yeah, that's what plants does for me, and I'm very, very grateful. I'm just a breakfast catching machine today. So yeah, that's what kind of keeps the spark alive. I don't know if that was a good answer, but you know, I'm how many years? 2018, 19, 20. Yes, I have to do the math on my hands. Okay, I'm bad with numbers. I'm 7 years deep into the aroid hobby, but I've been caring for plants, and I've had plants since about 2012, 2011 maybe. And it's still, honestly, it still brings the same amount of like happiness and like comfort that it did in the very beginning. So I'm very grateful for this hobby, because honestly, I think about it, and if I didn't have plants, I don't think I would have a hobby. I think what I'd be doing is just watching shows. Like I'd probably be watching way more, like I don't really watch reality TV like ever, but I probably would be watching reality TV because I'd run out of things to watch. And I think that's fine. I think there's a lot of people who don't have hobbies, and you just kind of relax, you travel, you hang out with friends. But for me, I don't really enjoy traveling often. Like I can go on a trip every few years and be content. This doesn't mean that I don't love my friends, but I don't love leaving my house. I don't love socializing. I really don't. Like I can do it every so often, but yeah, that's how I feel when I'm out like that. It just doesn't feel comfortable to me. It's like the moment I leave, I'm already just wondering how soon can I get home. I don't know if that's a bad thing. It probably is, but I just love being home. There's nothing better to me than being at home. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I've got my little bouquet of seedlings here. I'm actually so excited about these. They're turning out really cute. I'm gonna go to the sink. I'm gonna give them a full wash down, and I will be right back. All right, hopefully I can keep my child happy for the next 15 minutes, because I think that might be, no, that's not all I need. I need more than that, actually. Okay, sun is finally out of my face. Thank goodness. This is much better lighting for my brain. Okay, now that I have washed them all down, I'm gonna show you what they look like. So let's move you a little. Actually, I'm gonna move this out of the way and just come nice and close. We're gonna get cozy. So let me first show you my favorite one, I think. This will kind of be maybe like, I'm not gonna say baseline. Let me show you a good baseline, like what I feel like a majority of the seedlings are gonna look like, just based on what I've observed. I think that most of them are gonna look somewhat like this. Either like this or like this. Two very, very different looking seedlings, but I think a majority of them have more of a thicker venation like this, which is really nice. It almost resembles a crystal black, but I really like this one. I think this is my favorite, one of my favorites of the batch. This was the one that I kept with like the really silver, just to see if it would kind of look more like a Brielle. So I would say that's like the baseline of a majority of the seedlings. But here's my favorite one. It's this guy right here. It was one of the stronger seedlings, and it is adorable. It has very, very like round leaf. Like you can see the new leaf is super round too. Has really muted thin venation. Doesn't look like it goes very close to the leaf margin. Sorry for Pudge's tapping. But I noticed it. I think I got the seedling into the pot when it had this one on it, and I was just like intrigued by how sort of thin it was, and it is not keeping its promise, but it's looking very promising. So this is my favorite of the batch. And then there is, I think I showed you this one, right? Very similar to the one I just showed you, but not as round of a leaf, but that like really similar thin venation. Let me show you a few that are kind of also the same. If you watched the video that I did of this, I was trying to like get all different types of features. So this is another one that looks pretty similar. So let me put all of them together. So there's these really thin veined ones. They look almost the same, but I think this one is still the cutest one. And then I showed you this super, oh no, I didn't show you this one actually. So I showed you this one that is really, really sparkly and silver. There's also this one, literally identical. So I don't think that I need to be keeping both of them. I'll probably sell one of them, maybe this one, since this one's a bit bigger, but these are pretty much identical. And then this one's pretty cool too. I don't know if it's gonna keep up, but I kept this one because it had sort of like kind of uneven like venation. Like you can see here, it kind of looks like it bled a little bit, like colored outside the lines. And then if you look at the newest one, it kind of looks the same too, like really uneven venation. Again, it's such a minor detail, but it looks pretty cool so far. I wish I was able to keep, or I wish the bottom half of the leaf was still with us today, but she is not. This one, I can't remember why I wanted to keep this one. Honestly, I don't remember the rhyme or reason now that they're a lot bigger, but again, I was just trying to do like a good assortment of plants. Like I was like thinking, get one with almost no venation, get one with really silver, get one that is really elongated, or one that has a really prominent mid vein. I think I got this one for the mid veins, or I kept these ones for the prominent mid vein. This one's just rounder, but it kind of still looks like it's keeping that really, really bright mid vein. Oh, I don't like the lighting right now. I look like a corpse. It's so like blue. I have no color. Oh no, I have pawn in my hair. Oh, oh, ew. I have pawn in my hair. Gross. It's fine. It's a shower day. My hair is just wild, guys. My postpartum hairs cannot be tamed. I don't like the thought of having pawn in my hair though, I really don't. Okay, and then I think I kept this one for the minimal venation. It like basically had no venation at all, but I can kind of see, I don't know, I think this one might have a little bit more. And then I don't know why I kept these two, but I did for a reason, so we're just gonna keep going. They're a lot tinier than the other ones. I'm not sure I would really classify these as runts, really. They're just not as strong. But I do think I'm still gonna keep this, all of them, except for one of the really silvery ones, because yeah, at this point, again, it's looking identical to the other one, and I don't need multiple of this if I don't have to. I don't need two that look the same. I told you not to stick that whole toy in your mouth, dude. Here's the plan. I purchased these from the dollar store recently. Why am I using my kitchen towel? That's usually a no-no here. I don't ever intermingle my plant towels with my kitchen towels. Okay, so I got these dollar store cups. They're a little bit bigger than the ones that I normally get. The ones that I normally get have a smaller diameter and they're like maybe like 3/4 of this size. This is a little bit bigger and I think it's gonna be good for retaining the moisture while I'm away. I'm gonna do leca on the bottom of all of these. So let me just do that really quick. I'm just gonna fill all of these with leca because it is very loud on camera. I usually will cut out the parts where I'm actually pouring leca into vessels because the audio just goes wild. Okay, so I have a batch of prepared pon. I've got my leca bins. Now to answer another question. So this question is, why are you suddenly converting things to pon? And the short answer is one, I want to be using more renewable substrates just for earth reasons. Why is there so much dog hair in my pond? There's a few reasons why I'm wanting to use pon more, and one is I'm trying to use less soil. I don't want to be buying bags and bags of peat every year. I've converted to an organic soil that is Canadian made, and most of the ingredients in that soil is grown on her farm. I'm also hoping that this helps with my fungus gnat issue because I have had the worst fungus gnats this year. Well, actually, I think it started last year. And I'm over it. So I think if I can have like half of my collection in pon and half in soil, it shouldn't be as bad, hopefully. I really don't want to have as many fungus gnats as I have had because it's literally driven me crazy. And I feel like I have been really good at doing mosquito dunks. I have put up the sticky traps everywhere and it's still just so terrible. So yeah, I think that I just need to take measures that are going to be kind of more long lasting. And I'm not saying that fungus gnats won't breed in pon, but I do think that they breed less in pon and it doesn't harbor like the perfect environment for them like soil does. And at one point I had so many plants in soil. So yeah, that's really the main reason, but also just trying to be more sustainable in the hobby, I guess. It's actually crazy how much flack, is that the word? How much kind of criticism, I think criticism is the right word, criticism I got for wanting to like go peat free and try and be a little bit more sustainable. Like I feel like people will always find a reason like, oh, but what about perlite and what about world hunger? You know, it's just like I don't have the answers to everything. All I can do is my best. I'm not perfect. I know that my carbon footprint in the hobby is still quite large. But I think if we can at least try and do our best, even if it's not perfect, that's at this point good enough for me. So yeah, it was just weird. Like I was really surprised at how some people reacted to me wanting to switch to something like Jocelyn's. And you know, Jocelyn's isn't perfect. It's not like they're completely like 100% sustainable and they don't use any resources that contribute to global warming or like, you know, it's just, yeah, I think everything that we do in this hobby is going to add up, like using plastic pots, using these plastic cups. Everything that we're doing is contributing, I would say, negatively to the buildup of literal trash in the world. And I wish I had the perfect solution, but I don't have all the answers. So I'm just trying my best. I promise I'm not trying to like act holier than thou. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty about what you're doing or not doing over there at your house. I just, after having Archie, it put a lot of things into perspective for me, and I wanted to just at least try and do something to make myself feel better, even if it isn't making like a massive impact. I wish that there was a substrate out there that was 100% like sustainable and renewable, and my plants could grow really well in it, but I just don't think I could grow like 100% in leca. And I mean, isn't even like the production of leca kind of harmful? No, I wouldn't say harmful, but it's like they still have like manufacturing plants and they put it in plastic bags. Like it's not 100% eco-friendly. I would say even just the process in getting it to market, there are harmful aspects to it. Anywho, that's my 2 cents. I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's oddly a very sensitive subject, and I'm not like the right person to talk about it. I feel like I'm slowly doing my research and slowly trying to understand more about how each substrate that we use is mined and manufactured and produced and stuff, but it's a lot. There's a lot of information out there. I don't know what's correct. I'm trying my best. Oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be inoculating. I have had this package of billions for so long. I have so much of it still, so I'm trying to use it. I don't even know if this is good anymore. Does anyone know if mycorrhizal inoculants has a shelf life? Can you use jomo pots as a reservoir? Can you use jomo? Oh, that's my vacuum mop. Someone asked if you can use jomo pots as basically a self-watering pot, like if you can use it with a reservoir at the bottom. And if you guys are not familiar with Jomo Studio, I will plug in their Instagram handle below. I did a video. Oh my gosh, be quiet. I did a video showing their pots, which I am literally obsessed with. But I will say and this is just my opinion, I don't think that you can use it as a self-watering system because the drip tray is too small. I actually, with my Jomo Studio pots, I have to remove the bottom and then bring it to the sink and water thoroughly, because if I just water enough where it will fill the bottom, it actually doesn't get watered quite enough. So what I've been doing is removing the bottom, running it under the sink, giving it a thorough water, and then I'll put the bottom back on, and then I'll do like a top up of watering with like fertilizer or myco, whatever I'm using, and then that can drip into the bottom. So if I could make any sort of adjustment to the Jomo Studio pots, it would be to have a deeper drip tray, I guess. But I get like it, even probably making that small of an adjustment would be probably a much bigger cost. I don't know anything about 3D printing, but that would be my only suggestion really. But otherwise, I love them. Everything that's been in them has been pretty happy so far. I love the way it looks, and I definitely want to add more to the house. So if you're still wanting to know like if I would recommend them, absolutely. I love the pots. I think they are well made, they're well designed, and I feel like they have a style that can match really any house. Sorry, you guys can hear his toy, but it's either that or it's screaming, and I think that you would probably prefer that over screaming. Someone also asked, now that I'm talking about Archie, someone also asked, how do you manage being sick as a parent and plant parent? Guys, the last month and a bit has been like so incredibly challenging. I've actually been sick like twice since Archie's been born. I do think one of those times was COVID, and it was very, very hard. But the only difference is I was sick for a few days and then I was completely better. This time around, I was actively sick for about 3.5 weeks. And then like my actual symptoms went away, but I still have this really gnarly lingering cough that has kept me up at night, and I don't remember the last time I got a full night's rest. So naturally, like ever since Archie's been born, I think it's a maternal thing or maybe anxiety, but my body wakes me up every 1.5 to 2 hours, and my instinct is just like check the camera, check the monitor, make sure he's breathing, make sure he's okay. And so that already has been interrupting my sleep a lot, but then add on every 30 minutes or every hour, I just wake up from these coughing fits. And yeah, I'm just not sleeping well. It's really affected my work and my day-to-day, because during the day I have no energy. I have zero energy because all I have is like broken sleep at this point. And then during the day, you know, I need to be on it. Like I need to be in mom mode, and I am working still. I'm not just like purely a stay-at-home mom. And I think oh my gosh, I think the biggest challenge for me is I still want to make quality videos, and I want to put out 2 videos a week, not just for you guys, but like for me, this is my job. I literally can't afford to not put out 2 videos a week. When I only do 1 video a week, I'm not making enough. So if I went back to 1 video a week, I would probably need to like pick my business up again, which is a full-time job in itself, which is why I haven't done that. Or honestly, just take up a part-time job, like a work from home part-time job, like something like data entry, like something that can just, you know, I can work from home. I don't need to be super invested. I don't need to take meetings, something that I can make my own hours, something like that. I used to do graphic design part-time, but honestly, guys, I mean, I stopped taking graphic design work because it just became, I don't know, like every client that I had, it's just so stressful. Like the stress of like not knowing if they're gonna like my work, and I just stopped taking clients. I stopped doing work. So yeah, I really feel for people who are doing that full time right now, because I imagine that a lot of people are not really seeking out graphic designers the way they used to, because now they are being replaced by robots, which is freaking scary. Did I inoculate these? Yes, I did. But to answer the question, the answer is there is no method, there is no way. It's literally just try and survive, honestly. And I could not do it without my husband. There's no way. The only time when I'm sick, the only thing that I do with plants is water. I do the very minimum, very, very minimum. I don't even re-inoculate, I don't fertilize, I don't do anything. I just make sure that they have water. So in the time that I was sick, I was still working, like I was still putting out videos. There were several videos that I put out while I had COVID. And that was the only reason that things really got fertilized and, you know, re-inoculated and repotted. But otherwise, it's just the bare minimum. Like just get it done, make sure things don't die, and just pick things back up when I'm feeling better. But you know, aside from me wanting to, why is there so much dog hair in this batch of pond? I'm genuinely confused. Every pore, there's dog hair. It's insane. Like why is there so much dog hair in here? Like usually there's dog hair in my substrates, but not this much. Oh yeah, so what I was saying is like I still want to put out 2 videos a week. I still want them to be like quality videos, but I also want to be a good mom to Archie. I want to give him the attention he deserves. I don't just sit him in front of the TV. Not that, I mean, whatever you want to do with your kid, but I still try and do like a good balance of being outside, playing with toys, reading books, and he does have screen time. I don't want him to like not be not like desensitized to screens, but I don't want it to be like a completely foreign thing to him. And I've seen the benefits of screen time with my niece and nephew. Like, they are literal baby geniuses because of the stuff that they learned on YouTube. But I want to do like a good balance, you know. I'm not gonna get him like his own phone, or he's not gonna be allowed to go on any kind of device like iPad, iPhone, anything. He can watch TV and that's it. And that's gonna be the rule for a very long time. I think if anything, like when he's in the age of learning stuff, like I'll do like a leapfrog kind of tablet, but not like an iPad or anything. That's just me and my husband's choice. We're both on the same page about that. But at the same time, we still want him to be technologically savvy, just because that's the world he's going to grow up in, and we don't really want him to feel like he's kind of falling behind. Anyway, now I'm like talking about something totally different, but all that to say, I want to put out good videos. I want to give my plants the attention that they had before Archie, but I also want to, be a present mom for Archie as well. And so right now the struggle is just, how do I manage the time? Because I am only one person. There are still only 24 hours in the day, and I just have to make it work. And so I'm still trying to figure it out. It's not perfect. It's not like, you know, I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I think I need to remind myself to just give myself some grace, because I think by this point, like, some people have already like put their kids in daycare or have hired a nanny or something. And it's not that we can't afford daycare. We could. And we actually have a daycare that's right down the street, but I'm not ready. I couldn't even fathom dropping him off somewhere and then driving away. It just, I literally like want to cry just thinking about it. I'll get to that point eventually though. It's just not now. I didn't get to answer as many plant questions as I wanted to, but given the circumstances, I hope you understand. There were some other things that I wanted to repot today too. I might try and do that maybe while he's napping, but it's gonna be kind of loud. So yeah, maybe I don't do that. I'm gonna cut it here though. I literally answered like 2 questions. I'm very, very sorry. This is the best, This is the best that I could do for today. Hopefully I've managed to put together at least a half-hour video for you guys. I'm gonna get out of here because my child is slowly losing his marbles, as am I. Thank you for hanging out with me for another Wednesday repot. I hope you got something out of this. Again, I've said this a million times now in the last 2 minutes, but I wanted today to be more of like a repot Q&A, planty Q&A, but that just didn't get to happen. So I will likely try and answer the rest of the questions in another video, maybe in a Wednesday repot, not next week, because I already know what next week's Wednesday repot is, but maybe the one after that, I'll answer the remainder of the questions. But just thank you guys for being here. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one.